Thank you, everybody, for watching the Storytelling Alchemist show. I am very excited to have a repeat guest on. But before I introduce her, I just want to say it's been 1 year since I've been back doing my show, and that it's been on the Los Angeles Tribune. So I can't believe how fast that year's moved by. I feel like it just started yesterday. But 10 years I've been doing a podcast. So it's been incredible. So with that, I'm excited because I figured that a 1-year anniversary would be a great time to have Suzanne Ross back on the show. And we're going to be talking about her work, but we're also going to be talking about an amazing retreat that she is hosting in Sedona, Arizona. So we all know Sedona is great energy. Lots of places we think about Ascension happening would be in Sedona, and I will be there actually. So I'm pretty excited. So those of you that are watching, really pay attention because maybe you can come and hang out with me in Sedona in March. So Suzanne, thanks for coming back on the show again, and really excited about talking about your retreat and your work.
Thanks so much for having me, Jeremy, and congratulations on your 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, it was super exciting. I didn't realize that I had scheduled you on the show right at that time. And I was like, oh, that's perfect timing. You know, divine timing and divine order, right?
I feel so blessed and honored. Thank you. And it's so impressive that you've been doing a podcast for 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
10 years.
Bless your heart. I know how much, time and effort that takes. And to have that type of commitment and dedication and consistency, 10 years, wow, impressive. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. And I get to meet cool people like you doing the work and helping people. And so let's talk about your work because you do a lot. And you have your own, I believe, television network. You put out several books. You have this Ascension retreat that's going on. Plus you do tours in Sedona. And I think there's just so much that she does. And so, but we're specifically talking about this, the retreat, which is, I believe, March 18th, right? Until the 21st at the Unity in Sedona. So everybody knows about the Unity in Sedona. That's a pretty well-known Unity church. But could you talk about how you got into the retreat and what inspired you to put this on? Because you've been doing it a few years now. And so what brought this work in?
Thank you for asking. I had my very first book launch event back in 2014 when my first book, Wake Up, came out. And I lived in Pleasanton, California. And I didn't want to stand on stage by myself for a whole day talking about my book. So I wanted to invite other authors and speakers, people who were interested in spirituality and consciousness and even personal development and wellness. And so I did. And I had so much fun doing it. And we filmed the whole thing. And the footage from that event actually kicked off my conscious media career as well. But I just found that I loved having events. I love to invite all of my colleagues who are into the same topics that I'm into and give them stage time. And so I moved to Sedona then in 2015, and I had my very first equinox retreat in the spring of that year. I had another one in the fall, and I've had 2 equinox events every year for the last 7 years. And this is my 15th event going into the 8th year, this spring equinox event. And they just keep getting bigger and taking on different expressions. Like my first one was an outdoor retreat. I called it a goddess retreat. And I've tried bigger conferences all indoors. But then after I started offering spiritual journeys out on the land, I knew that incorporating this experience of going out into the Red Rocks into my events would really enhance their journey in Sedona. And so I finally came up with this idea of having the presentations indoors in this wonderful venue of Unity, and then also giving them a chance to get outside to have that spiritual journey in the vortex. experience while they're here too. So this combination of indoor outdoor seems to be where I'm at right now, because without all outdoor events, even though it's nice to be outdoors, as you know, the weather can be unpredictable. And I like to gather really high quality audio video so that I can share the footage of the event with those who couldn't attend. And now this year, since Unity has their own audio video guy, then we can actually sell live Zoom streaming tickets for just $44 for all 4 days. Anybody from anywhere in the world who can't make it can participate with the live Zoom streaming. So I'm very excited, and we have many, many presenters who are world-renowned authors, speakers, spiritual practitioners, sound healers. Yeah.
So that is super exciting, because I've been to many events, and it's always really, and put on my own events as well. But one of the things I really love is the community that is formed, and especially in Sedona, all that intention on that land that's already blessed, and has an amazing amounts of energy. To me, you bring those souls together and they grow. That really helps the planet, and in the frequency of the planet, and getting that out there for the healing of the consciousness. And we were mentioning just before we got started here that 2022 feels just a lot different. So maybe where the stars are aligning this year for what you're working on. So
I feel that. I really do. I feel like these supercharged and coated photons of light coming in on these solar rays are really having the powerful intended effect of raising the consciousness, and people around the world are awakening en masse. And so, yes, when we pull people together in a large group like that, and we hope to have 200 participants. We've sold over 100 tickets now, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we do achieve that. And so with all the speakers, over 20 speakers, and all of those participants, all doing practices together with the intention of not just raising the love light frequency of our group, but pouring our love and light into the ley lines so that it can spread throughout the global grid. Right? Sending that love light frequency around the world to lift everyone up into this higher consciousness.
Yeah, and you've got some amazing speaker. William Henry, I've followed for probably, 15, 16 years. And, one of the things that he helped me with was when he wrote the book about Mary Magdalene and the light body. And he's wrote tons of other things, but I mean, this is just the one that just clicked in me. It's like, oh, light body. Oh yeah, that's what we are. And those things, do you think that those things, like the events you're giving, and when somebody comes and they see somebody speak, maybe for the first time, or maybe they've seen it several times, that same subject, or something just clicks in their head because of the energy. It's not necessarily the words, sometimes it's the healing that happens. Like you're mentioning, people are coming together, they're practicing together, they're meditating together, they're coming together, and something just clicks and they leave, and it changes their whole life. And I just think that's a really cool feeling. So
I've had incredible testimonials from people at the end of the event that just say that this has been such a powerful, positive, transformational experience for them on so many levels. And so it is nice to have this wide diversity of speakers, from William Henry, who hosts Ascension Keepers on Gaia TV, and I'm a huge fan, and I can't wait to meet him in person, to Michael Jaco, who is part of the Disclosure Movement, but himself an intuitive warrior. And he'll also be doing a workshop on past lives. And my dear friend Brad Olson, who will speak about his book Beyond Esoteric. And I mean, I could go on because there's like 20 speakers, but I'm sure you'll share the flyer on this.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to pull up the website here. So you got Maureen St. Germain, about the 5D and stuff like that, and James Rink, and many different people. So yeah.
And so we want to hit on all these topics, right? Like, so William Henry brings in a wider range of metaphysics and the Ascension movement and into art and the impact of pictures on people's consciousness. But then we have like the disclosure movement. Like you said, James brings in super soldiers and the secret space program, right? And then Maureen St. Germain and 5D. And yeah, and then we have language of light singers presenting also sound healing and people offering workshops. We have a sound healing workshop that I'm really excited about. Lori Lene, 20 years doing this, will be hosting a sound healing workshop. Egyptian Mystery School, Awakened Alchemy, Alan Steinfeld will be offering a remote viewing workshop. And so I'm just very excited about being able to have such a wide diversity of things for people to do, including, of course, the Vortex tours into the sacred sites of Sedona.
That's got to be one of the most exciting when you think about it. I mean, think about going into a sound healing and then you take that vibration, go out to the vortex, then come back. People are going to be really shifting. And I don't know, for those of you watching, if you've never had an experience of going to, I guess the best way is to high vibration spot, it's for there or a vortex of some kind, and then walking out and feeling completely illuminated. I've had it go into the several of the Mayan ruins and different areas, the Cahokia Mounds. I've had it out in Illinois and stuff like that. So it's Taos. I mean, anything where that energy is just really there, and then it shifts something in you. So I mean, if you get the opportunity to go to this event, I mean, it's just, it's very much something that you definitely want to do. And I'm actually going to share my screen real quick because I want to show your website and jump into that really quick, because I think it's one of the best things to do is just kind of jump around here and look. It's SedonaAscensionRetreats.com. And it tells you the spring equinox portal immersion, March 18th through the 21st of 2022. And this is some of the things that Suzanne was talking about, the different presenters, Suzanne herself. And so, and then William Henry, he's been around for a while. He's wrote many, 18 books. He's wrote quite a bit. And Michael Jaco, who is, I think he's only been out in the scene a couple of years now. Am I correct with his YouTube channel and the reports that he does? Alan.
Yeah, he developed a big following quickly. He's got a great personality and is really dedicated to his mission. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's big about, disclosure, but he also is big about developing people. And I thought that was really cool. So, Alan Steinfeld, James Rink, these are people that have been around for a while. Maureen St. Germain, she wrote a book. She talks about the 5D experience. Really nice lady. I've talked to her on email a couple times. Never actually interviewed her, but she's just another. These are just Marguerite. I cannot pronounce her last name. I'm not familiar with her though. That's a new one for me. But I imagine if she's here, she's great. So.
Thank you. Yeah, she's an academic who has written many books about the mystery traditions of miraculous conception from really biblical times into the times of ancient Greece. And it's really fascinating. She's been on Gaia TV a few times talking about that. And I just love her. I've been friends with her a long time. Yeah, she's like a priestess.
Got a good energy. You can see it in her. And then Brad Olson and Celestine Starr. I mean, these are just, take a look at all these speakers. I mean, because you're going to want to know. One of the things I love when I go to a conference is I want to know the speaker, even if I've never heard of them. I want to know them before I go see them, because I can kind of get their energy before I meet them. And then when they present, then it just makes the presentation that much more incredible. Rob Potter and Amanda Romania. Anyways, so just kind of go in here for all you go to ascensionretreats.com and go to presenters, and there's a full 4 days of workshops. I mean, I want to put that out there. There's 4 days of workshops that you're not going to want to miss. And and so there's going to be some new ones that are going to come in that maybe you're not familiar, which is cool. I think that's some of the most exciting is when you go into a conference and there's people that you've not heard of necessarily, but they're just as big of powerhouses, and then that helps you develop as a person or as a soul as well. So that's the idea of an Ascension retreat. There's just Sasha Stone, who's been around for quite a while, in different types of movements. But I think the other part is exciting is you're going to be doing tours out in the portals, basically, for different, what's a part of the event as well. So great. This is going to be an incredible time, guys. I mean, first of all, you have to go to Sedona at least one time in your lifetime. And so there's also not just spiritual stuff out there. There's a place called Slide Rock where you can slide down the natural springs, which is totally separate from the show, but I thought I'd put it out there because I went there when I was a kid.
Awesome. Yes, Slide Rock is very cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what made you, just on a personal, what got you to Sedona? Was it spirit that guided you from California, or was it intuitive, or you just really wanted to go there? What took you out there?
I was in meditation and I was seeing this vision of this Red Rock city. And I literally heard a voice say, in 2015, you and Scott will move to Sedona. So oftentimes in meditation and trance state, I will hear voices, receive messages. At the time, I had never even heard of Sedona, unbelievably, because I've been on a spiritual path for decades and I live in California. I'd never heard of Sedona. And so when I came out of meditation, I jumped up and wrote on a vision board in 2015, Scott and I will move to Sedona. And I even drew a picture of a house. And then I put it in my closet. And in 2014, we were going to the Grand Canyon. And I said, hey, can we go through this place called Sedona? And my husband said yes. And between the time I had the vision and the time we left for the Grand Canyon, people were coming up to me left and right, telling me all about Sedona, how Scott and I would love Sedona, see my vacation photos of Sedona. Here's my Sedona t-shirt. I would see Sedona bumper stickers. And it was like, wow, okay. Sedona was coming at me from every which way. And so when we came through here on our way to the Grand Canyon, and we drove into Sedona through Oak Creek. Wow. I was so blown away by these magnificent red rock temples that I literally wept. Both my husband and I were speechless and breathless. And I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. And I had a sense of coming home. I was like, I'm home, and I love the energy here. And my husband's really into dune buggies, and dune buggies are street legal, and there's crystal stores everywhere. And it was like, this is home. I mean, we belong here. And lo and behold, everything worked out and fell into place for us to move to Sedona in 2015, just like the voice said we would.
What I think that's important when we think about the retreats and everything that you're doing, like for those of you that are watching, that's how this works. I mean, things just line up. Like she was mentioning, people are saying to her, hey, check out my pictures of Sedona, check out my vacation of Sedona. And, the universe will do whatever it takes to keep you on target, I guess is the best way to put it. And down to some things where you're like, did this really just happen? And you're like, whoa. And that's the awe part of a spiritual journey, is that when you're paying attention, it's real. The synchronicities just start lining up, which is, I think, fun. I think it's better than any game or anything we can do. It's just that is the game. It's the game of spirit. So
absolutely, keeping our eyes and ears wide open for the signs and symbols that the universe is always showing us, and aligning with that divine synchronicity, where when you follow your intuition, you listen to your inner guidance, you follow the signs and symbols that you're being given, it's like everything falls into place beautifully. All the people, places, and things that align with your mission here on planet Earth. And then that comes into greater alignment as well. And, when you are aligned with your mission, because it flows without resistance and everything starts expanding in every direction, and you have all these opportunities, and the whole time you're filled with so much joy, and the passion within you is ignited. You know that you're on your mission and you're fulfilling it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to encourage everybody to go. And if you're sitting there thinking, I'm not sure I can go because of time or money or all that kind of stuff, what I want you to do is I want you to start seeing like a crystal bridge built from you to Sedona in this retreat. And then you just say in your mind, if this is meant to be, then it'll be, and make it easy. And the crystal bridge is that's eliminating all the doubt. That's your construction of, hey, this is not a wall, it's a bridge. And crystals, very solid structure. And it's saying that you're asking the divine to bring this in for you, for your soul, if it's meant to be, but you want it to be easy, because nobody wants anything to be, we don't want to make all these hard lessons, just want to make it smooth. And so, I would venture to say, and I know that Suzanne's going to talk about a giveaway. Am I correct? For the
Yes.
so we probably should talk about that. But go to if this is something you want to do, put your intention out there. Trust me, I've seen some cool things in my life where I just saw that crystal bridge, and then it just started lining up. And if it's meant to be, it'll be. Trust me, it'll open itself up. But yeah, so I definitely wanted to talk about the giveaway for the retreat, and but I just want to put it out there to everybody before we start talking about Sedona Ascension Retreats.com, and I'm going to put this in the description of the show as well, so you'll have a link as well. All right, so you were talking about the giveaway and the retreat as well, and Suzanne's going to tell us about that. But what I will tell you real quick, as she's talking about it, first person to message me on social media and says, I'm messaging you about the free giveaway, we'll get this, we'll win the prize, so to speak. So what I'm going to let Suzanne talk about, because it's her retreat. So.
Yes, I'm delighted to give away 2 tickets. And these are general admission passes at a value of $188 each. And so this is a way that you can come to our retreat and get a free pass to join us for 4 days in Sedona, March 18th through the 21st. Also, for those of you who don't win the 2 free tickets, please make sure to use coupon code Jeremy10 so that you get a 10% discount, and Jeremy gets a little token of appreciation.
And so there you have it. There's that crystal bridge already being built already. And so we're on the roll right now, and so for those of you who are out there, first person to message me wins those tickets. And if you aren't the first person, that's okay, because you can still save some money to be able to go, and just use the coupon code of Jeremy10 when you make the purchase of the tickets online. So well, I'm excited. This is going to be a great retreat. And honestly, March is a beautiful time in Arizona. I don't know if you guys know, Arizona is just an absolutely incredible. I was just in Phoenix over Christmas time, and I'd forgotten how cold it gets at night during the winter. But it's beautiful out during the day. Well, it's beautiful out at night as well. But March is a great time to come into the Arizona area. So.
And it's during the equinox, right?
Yes.
That's like when the veil between interdimensional realms is thin. And so Sunday at 8:32 a.m., we're going to greet the rising sun of the equinox, just like the ancients did. And at this time, know that we can communicate interdimensionally. We can be in the vortex and communicate with our higher selves, our spirit guides, our galactic brothers and sisters, ascended masters, archangels, whomever we want to communicate with during the time of the equinox. The veils are thin. And so with that lineup of the stars and constellations, it's a perfect time, very conducive to contact.
So can we talk real quick before we kind of wrap up the show about the vortexes? Because I mean, we talked about them being energy spots, but the Sedona vortexes are very well known for many, many years. There's vortexes around the world, really, but Sedona is very famous for what they've done. So could we talk about what those are like? What could be expected potentially? Because I think it's probably different for every person, but could we just talk about that a little bit? about your experience and what.
Yeah, sure. And so one of the things that I do is I offer spiritual journeys out into the Red Rocks as an independent contractor for Sedona Mystical Tours, who will be hosting our tours for our event. And so the electromagnetic energy that creates these spiraling vortexes comes up from the earth through what's called volcanic shafts or lava tubes. And so there's iron bringing the magnetic energy, quartz crystal bringing the electric energy. And so this electromagnetic energy that explodes through these lava tubes in an outflow create a male vortex, and then the energy returns to the earth, creating an inflow, and you get a female vortex. So it truly is powerful electromagnetic spiraling energy fields. And even though you can't see them, you can definitely feel them. And they've been measured and verified by geologists and engineers for decades. They can determine the velocity of the spin, the direction of the spin. And so within this spinning energy, there's a very high frequency. And so within that high frequency, we as electromagnetic beings respond to that, and we actually vibrate at a higher frequency. Literally, the electrons are spinning around the nucleus of the atoms faster, raising our vibrational frequency. Raising our vibration is like raising your vibes. So it's high vibe energy here, and you can really feel it and tune into that. And the tour guides will offer specific practices for tuning into the vortex as well. And so you really can, optimize your experience in the vortex that way.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this will be a way for you to jump into a high frequency, take that frequency back to your home, and then be vibrating at that frequency in your home area. And so now you can kind of get the idea of retreats. It's for you as well. But when you take that frequency, the new frequency, into another area, you start to ignite other areas around you as well, or people around you. So I think that's a positive, and especially in this ascension time and everything that's been going on in the world, where it'll bring some balance and peace into your area. So pretty exciting stuff. And
if for some reason you can't come to the event, I just wanted to put it out there that if you want to come on your own time, we organize retreats, personal retreats for you alone, or for you and your partner, or for you and a group of friends. And so just go to SuzanneRossWellness.com and reach out to me on the contact form if you want to come at another time and have a personal retreat experience. Thanks for letting me throw that in, Jeremy.
No, I totally, absolutely. And everybody, it's SedonaAscensionRetreats.com. Again, use the code Jeremy10, and lots of amazing speakers. I hope to see you all there. I will be there with my friend Daniela. We're coming, and we're really excited about coming as well. And it's going to be an amazing time. So be blessed, everybody. And we'll see you in March. So
many blessings. Namaste.
Namaste.